Hello students, I am Aditya sir. Welcome you all here for English learning. This is the third video for Ode to Autumn, which deals with third and final stanza. If you haven't learned stanza 1 and 2 of the poem 8, I would like to suggest you to watch my video part 1 and part 2. Now let's start learning. Stanza 3. The stanza 3 begins with a question, line number 23. Where are the songs of spring? A. Where are they? Think not of them, thou hast thy music too. A. A here means a sad exclamation. Where are they? Here they means autumn. Thou, you know it, I have already told you, it is Old English, now it is you. Hast is also Old English, it means has. Thy means your, right? So where are the songs of spring? The poet asked about the songs of spring, and he asked it on behalf of the readers. He does so because everyone, even all poets, writers, have praised the song of spring, have talked about songs of spring, and autumn has been ignored by all till now. It is just like Urvashi. You know the character of Urvashi in Ramayana, do you remember? Wife of Lakshman. She has been ignored by all poets and writers. All praised Sita. Nobody noticed and appreciated the sacrifice of Urvashi. So it is like that. Songs of spring have been praised, have been appreciated by everyone, but no one appreciated the songs of autumn or the season autumn. While barred clouds bloom the soft dying day. Bloom means it's to become a flower, right? But here bloom means to shine. The poet says that a stable cloud in the sky shine like a flower. They are so pleasant to look at that they give us smile and happiness. And touch the stubble plains with rosy hay. Rosy stubble, you know, stubble, the short stalk left after the grain or harvest or some other harvest has been cut. You can see it. This is you can see it in the image, and this is a stubble plains. Plains means field. Rosy, you know it, rosy color, and hue means color. So in this line, in this line, he says that the rosy color spread over the stubble field. Stubble, you know it very well, and the rosy color and the pink color has covered all the field, all the plains. Stubble plains, stubble field. Line 27. Then in a wailful choir the small gnats mourn. Wailful. Wailful means full of grief or sorrow. Gnats. Gnats is an insect, fly. It's a kind of fly, a small fly, buzzing fly. You can see it in the image. So in this, the further poet described, and what he described the evening of autumn. The gnats buzz in group, and what they buzz is not a happy song. They are buzzing in sadness, in sorrow, probably due to getting dark and dark, and end of the day, pleasant day. End of the pleasant day, because pleasant day is going to be end after setting sun. Among the rivers shallow borne aloft. Among the rivers shallows, it's a kind of tree, means willow tree. right? Willow tree, you can see it in the image. Borne means held up, and aloft. Aloft means in the higher atmosphere of the earth. Now he says that those buzzing gnats are held up among the willow trees near the river, or sinking as the light wind lives or dies. Sinking here means disappearing. The poet wants to say that you can observe the gnats flying over the trees or among the trees, and it appears, sometimes it appear and disappear. It is like, it happens like a soft wind. As soft wind, we don't know, at a moment it blows and another moment it stops. So it was like that. It was like a soft light wind. The gnats were appearing and disappearing. Sinking as the light wind lives or dies. Or they means gnats are being disappeared among the dense willow trees along the river as the light wind blows or dies, as light wind appear and disappear. It is like that. You know, we hardly notice light wind when it starts and it stops. Here, Keats has compared gnats with light wind. And full-grown lambs loud bleat from hilly bourne. Full-grown lambs. Lambs means it's a baby sheep, half-year baby sheep, who is born in autumn season. Bleat, it's a voice of lamb, voice of bird is called twitter. Hilly bourne, hills, and bourne means it's a place. Now John Keats describes uh, that half-year baby sheep, the baby sheep produce what they produce, the sound hill sound shapes the produce here produce some sounds. Full grown lambs loud bleat means loudly producing sound, loudly bleating. Here's cricket sing, and now with treble soft. Hedge, it's a fence of plants or bushes, right? And treble means it's a high shrill voice or sound. The poet adds more description to his observation, what he has observed in the autumn evening. He observed that crickets sitting on fence of plants and bushes, were singing some kind of song, and the voice of crickets were not pleasant, were not good. They were sharp. The singing was in sharp voice. So actually they are making lots of noise as they rub their wings together. The red-breast whistle from a garden croft. Redbreast, it's a kind of bird, you can see it in the image, and the kind of bird that is robin. It's the bird is robin. Actually, poet refers to the bird robin, and it is found in England. Garden croft is a vegetable field attached to a house. You know, in our village you have seen it that there is a small piece of land attached to our house. So that is, and we grow there vegetables. So that is called garden croft. So in now he said that apart from cricket singing, the poet observed the sound of the whistle of red breast, which sings from garden croft, which sings from vegetable field. So he has observed the sound of redbreast also. And gathering swallows twitter in the sky. And he says that swallow birds, it's a small bird, with a split tail, with a split tail. Twitter, the voice of bird. And now he describes that uh, swallows are gathering in the sky and they were twittering, they are planning to migrate to another place. So in the beginning of the stanza, the third stanza, John Keats said that autumn has her own music, her own singing. That's why he described here many kinds of sounds produced by different flies, insects, and birds. So that's why he said in the beginning of the stanza, forget the sound of spring. Don't worry about the songs of spring, because autumn has her own music, her own sound, her own songs. Right. So the chapter is complete. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Now the explanation of the ode is complete. I would like to say thank you for watching me till the end.